Good afternoon, sunshine. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. You can find us on the radio, icradio.media. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast, thenewscasters.com. And you can find us again, like mentioned earlier, on the radio, and that is IC, as in ice cream, radio.media. You know something, send an email. I love your emails. They actually make my day. Any kind of topics, anything you'd like for me to do a little research on, I'll be glad to do that for you. You can send an email to donna@donnasedge.com. That's donna@donnasedge.com. And one of these was sent to me by Sherry. And Sherry said, I would love to hear you talk about brain. I've done quite a bit of research on that for you, Sherry. And so I found the website here. This is one of my go-to websites. I really like this one. It's Mayo Clinic Health System.com. No S at the end. So that's Mayo Clinic Health System.org. So we're going ahead and look that up. So changes to your body and brain are pretty much normal as we age. We have changes all over. However, there are some things you can do to help slow down any decline in memory, and I think we all worry about that, and lower your risk of developing Alzheimer's disease or other dementias. So let's talk. There are 6 things that are recommended by the author here on this website, and he's went on ahead and listed these in order of importance. Number 1, and we talked about this earlier on another segment, and that's exercise regularly. Okay, we got to do that, because I've noticed if I've when I had the flu a few weeks ago, and I didn't exercise, I just simply didn't feel like it, and I didn't exercise, and I felt really sluggish. And I know part of that was having the flu, but then after the flu was over, I didn't get back into the exercise routine again, and I was just noticing things didn't seem as clear to me, and I was having a harder time thinking things out. So here it is, go on a regular exercise regimen. Exercise has many known benefits, and regular physical activity also benefits the brain. So multiple research studies show that physical active people are less likely to experience a decline in their mental function and also have a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Now, these benefits result from increased blood flow to your brain during your exercise regimen. It also tends to counter some of the natural reduction of brain connections that occur during aging, reversing some of those problems. Aim to exercise several times per week, at least 30 to 60 minutes. You can walk, swim, you can play tennis, just about any other moderate aerobic activity that increases your heart rate. So that's what you want. You want that old heart to start pumping like that. Then that's really important. Now, one thing I like to do, this is before I get out of the bed every single morning, I like to lay sideways in the bed, okay, so that my feet hang out, and it's a queen size bed, but at least my head can kind of lay out on the back of the mattress. So what I'll do is I'll pull my head back like that, and then I'll raise it, and I'll do that about 10 times. Now, one thing is, make sure you don't just jump out of bed after doing that. It can cause a little bit of dizziness as you do that. But just lay down in the bed and just gently do that. And hold your head back while you're doing that, just for a few seconds, and then back up again. Do it slowly. Start out with 5, and then go on to 10, and then go on to 15, then 20. Just keep it going on a regular. And if you'll just set yourself a pattern of doing that, you'll notice a difference in your focus. You don't have to take a bunch of heavy drugs to do that. So that's just another good way to keep your heart and your mind healthy. Get plenty of sleep. Now, I don't get plenty of sleep either, because when I'm telling you what, I wake up early. I wake up with ideas and things I can do to have a better show for you. And I like doing that. So I'll wake up, and if I don't hurry up and write down that idea, I might forget it. There's a possibility. Or maybe I'll remember it, but I won't remember it quite the way I was thinking about it early in the morning. Some people are morning people. I'm a morning person. Some people are night people. And I mean, at night, once I get after I watch my Perry Mason show, when I get through watching that, I'm zonked. So I'm ready to go into la la land. Find out when your time is. Mine's morning. Okay, so get plenty of sleep. Sleep plays an important role in your brain health. Some theories actually state that sleep helps clear abnormal proteins in the brain and consolidates memories, which boost your overall memory and brain health. Aim for 7. I get 7. Get, well, 5 to 6. Let's be honest about this. So aim for 7 to 8 consecutive hours of sleep per night, not fragmented sleep of 2 or 3 hour increments. Consecutive sleep gives your brain the time to consolidate and store your memories effectively. Sleep apnea harms your brain's health and could be why you may struggle to get consistent hours of sleep. So talk with your healthcare team if you or a loved one suspects you may have sleep apnea. But it's all about the sleep and it's all about the rest. Now, some people, and there are actually businesses in California who actually have their employees take an hour for nap time. I know, sounds like a daycare center or something. I'm not so sure I could do it, but anyway, they say it helps. So what happens is all of the employees go to an area and they lay down and they hear soothing music or whatever, and they go to sleep for an hour. But my problem with that is if I start sleeping an hour, I'm not going to be able to function. I can't do that in the daytime hours, so it wouldn't work for me. But they say that it works for a lot of people. And even if you take little cat naps, you know how a cat will lay around all day and kind of take a little cat nap? They say that actually helps too. It helps with being restful. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about eat a Mediterranean diet. So what is a Mediterranean diet? Now, first, your diet plays a large role in your brain health. So consider following a Mediterranean diet, which emphasizes plant-based foods, whole grains, fish, and healthy fats such as olive oil. It incorporates less red meat and salt than a typical American diet does. Studies show people who closely follow this Mediterranean diet are less likely to have Alzheimer's disease than people who don't follow the diet. Further research is needed to determine which parts of the diet help the brain function the most. So not a whole lot of tests have been done on it. However, we know that omega fatty acids found in extra virgin olive oil, that's what I use most of the time, and other healthy fats are vital for your cells to function correctly, appear to decrease your risk of coronary artery disease, increase mental focus, and slow cognitive decline in older adults. Now, number 4, and this is stay mentally active. So your brain is similar to a muscle. So let's talk about that. You need to use it or you lose it. You ever heard of somebody say, I don't want to lose the old noodle? What they're talking about is their brain up there. There are many things you can do to keep your brain in shape, such as doing crossword puzzles, reading, playing cards, or putting together a jigsaw puzzle. That's a good thing to do. Consider it cross-training for your brain. I think it's a great way to look at it. So incorporate different types of activities to increase the effectiveness. Now, most healthcare teams don't recommend the paid brain training programs that are available, like sometimes there's apps that you can download. Some people don't recommend that. These programs over-promise results on focus and on memorization skills that aren't useful in everyday life. That's why they don't recommend that. Okay, so your brain can get just as good of a workout through reading or challenging yourself with puzzles. Finally, don't watch too much TV, as that's a passive activity and does little to stimulate your brain. I say everything in moderation. I got to watch Perry Mason now every night before I go to bed. Okay, number 5, remain socially involved. So social interaction helps ward off depression and stress, which can contribute to memory loss. So just look for opportunities to connect with loved ones, friends, and others, especially if you live alone. So research links, if you live by yourself and you're just by yourself all the time, they link this to brain apathy. So remaining socially active can have the opposite effect and strengthen your health of your brain. Strengthen the health of your brain. All right, so let's talk about this one before we go into a break. and that's keep your blood vessels healthy, keeping your blood vessels healthy. So the health of your arteries and vein is important to your heart health, but it is also critical for brain health. Get your blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol checked regularly, and take steps to keep your numbers within a normal range. Increase your physical activity, eat a Mediterranean diet, and decrease your sodium consumption to lower blood pressure and cholesterol values. Now, finally, tobacco and alcohol use are impactful on brain health as well. So only drink alcohol in moderation if you do at all, and please do not smoke. Moderate drinking is defined as up to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 drinks per day for men. In other words, try not to do that. There's a lot to be said about this, about your brain health and the support of your mind. So when we get back, let's go into a commercial break. When we get back, we're going to talk about that and living in fear and that kind of thing, and how that can have your emotional status can actually cause damage to your brain. Let's go ahead and go into a commercial break, and we shall return in just a few minutes. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for 2 or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. And we're here talking about truth right now. We talked about exercise and your brain and how all of that stuff works together. But let's talk for just a few minutes about brain fog. You know, a lot of folks will say, I think I got brain fog. I'm not remembering exactly like I should be remembering things. But brain fog is a type of cognitive dysfunction characterized by confusion, memory issues, and lack of focus. You know, let's talk about that lack of focus. It's not its own diagnosis, but a symptom of an underlying medical condition. So what is brain fog? Okay, brain fog itself is not a medical condition, but instead a symptom of other medical conditions. It's a type of cognitive dysfunction involving memory problems, a lack of mental clarity, poor concentration, and an inability to focus. Some people call it mental fatigue, depending on the severity of the brain fog, but it can interfere with your work, your school, and other daily tasks. But it does not have to be a permanent fixture in your life, so there's actually help out there. One of my favorite websites, healthline.com. That's healthline.com. So what are the causes of brain fog? There's several reasons, so let's get started with number one. Number one, and it's a big one, and that's stress. Chronic stress can increase blood pressure, weaken the immune system, and trigger depression, according to the 2017 Review of Research. It can also cause mental fatigue. So when your brain is exhausted, it becomes harder to think and to reason and to focus. Number two is a lack of sleep. We're getting some of these things are common, right? So poor sleep quality can interfere with how well your brain functions, according to the 2021 research. Now, the goal is to usually aim for 8 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Sleeping too little can lead to poor concentration and cloudy thoughts. Number three, hormonal changes. Now, this is from a research of 2018 suggests hormonal changes can also cause brain fog. Levels of the hormones estrogen and progesterone increase during pregnancy. This change can affect memory and cause short-term cognitive impairment. It's kind of similar to a drop in estrogen levels during menopause and can cause forgetfulness, poor concentration, and cloudy thinking. This is according to the 2019 research. All right, and we talked about diet several times in the last segment. But diet can also play a role in brain fog. So vitamin B12 supports healthy brain functioning. A 2021 research review found that a vitamin B12 deficiency can affect cognitive function and bring about brain fog. Now, if you have food allergies or sensitivities, brain fog may develop after eating certain foods. This contains anything with aspartame in it. Remember, your diet colas, we've been told kind of stay away from those diet colas because they can cause brain fog. Sometimes peanuts, and some people with dairy allergies. So removing these trigger foods from your diet may improve those symptoms. All right, here's a tip. Okay, avocado oil can help you fight free radicals and address oxidation stress in the body. The oil contains 99.99% pure C60, never exposed to solvents, and delivers 22 megagrams of active carbon 60 per ounce. And again, this was actually a third-party tested analysis that was done for safety, quality, and purity. All right, let's go with number 5. I want to make sure we get to all of these. Medications. Now, if you notice brain fog while taking medication, you may want to talk to your doctor. So brain fog is a known side effect of certain medications, such as certain sleep and pain medications. Lowering your dosage or switching to another drug may improve your symptoms. Also, brain fog can occur after cancer treatments, and it's referred to as chemo brain. Let's go ahead and get started with number 6, and that's medical conditions. So medical conditions associated with inflammation, fatigue, or changes in blood glucose levels can also cause mental fatigue. For example, brain fog is a symptom of chronic fatigue syndromes, that's CFS, which involves persistent fatigue for a prolonged period of time, according to 2020 research. According to a 2015 research review, people who have fibromyalgia may also experience similar fogginess on a daily basis. Now, other conditions that can cause brain fog include anemia, depression, diabetes, migraine, autoimmune diseases like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and multiple sclerosis. Dehydration can cause that. I know when I've been outside and I don't bring enough to drink outside when it's pretty hot out there, I can kind of feel a little bit of a brain fog going on. So drink plenty of water. You know, that liquid clear stuff, that's good for you. Viral infections like COVID-19 actually caused it too. I noticed it when I had COVID. I had some brain fog after that for a little while. Okay, now, how is it diagnosed? Talk with a doctor if you have a persistent lack of clarity that worsens or does not improve. A single test cannot be used to diagnose brain fog. So brain fog may signal an underlying issue. So healthcare professionals will conduct a physical examination and ask you about your mental health, your diet, your level of physical activity, current medications, or supplements. You should also let a doctor know about other symptoms you might have. For example, someone with let me spell this for you. I don't want to butcher this up. This is really important. hypothyroidism. I think that's hypothyroidism. May have brain fog. Excuse me if I butchered that up. I'm sorry. May have brain fog along with hair loss, dry skin, weight gain, or brittle nails. So blood work may be able to help your doctor identify the cause of your brain fog. A blood test can detect the following: if you have irregular glucose levels, if you have poor liver, kidney, and thyroid functions, we mentioned the thyroid earlier, nutritional deficiencies, infections, and inflammatory diseases. So, based on the results, your doctor will determine whether to run further tests. Other diagnosis tools may include imaging tests to look inside the body, like your x-rays, your magnetic resonance imaging, that's the MRI, or a CT scan. Now, your doctor may also conduct allergy testing to check for allergies. Could be that. Or a sleep study to rule out sleep disorder. Keeping a food journal can help you determine if your diet contributes to brain fog. Now, if you need help finding a primary care doctor, you can always go online, type in your zip code, but there's a Find Care tool that's right here in this particular website called healthline.com. Now, let's talk about treating brain fog. Brain fog treatment depends on the cause. For example, if you have anemia, iron supplements may increase your production of red blood cells and reduce your brain fog. If you're diagnosed with autoimmune immune disease, a doctor may recommend medication to reduce inflammation, because that's what that causes, or suppress the immune system. Sometimes relieving brain fog is a matter of correcting a nutritional deficiency, switching medications, or improving the quality of your sleep. Now, let's try these strategies at home to relieve brain fog. We're going to repeat these, okay? So get at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night. You can use herbs to do that. Manage your stress levels, knowing your limitations. Find activities you enjoy doing and try to make time for them. Avoid excessive alcohol and caffeine. Uh-oh, that hurt. Caffeine. I like my coffee every morning. Exercise regularly, but not too close to bedtime. And I find that to be true. So if I exercise and it's right at bedtime, it's going to give me more energy and I have a hard time falling asleep. Strengthen your thinking abilities. You can try volunteering or solving brain puzzles. Increase your intake of protein, fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats. Now, what is the lookout for brain fog? Brain fog can be frustrating relief as possible. You should not ignore your symptoms because if left untreated, brain fog can impact the quality of your life. So once the underlying cause is addressed, your mental clarity can improve. So I want to talk for just a few seconds about, I've got just a couple of minutes. So I wanted to talk about inflammation and what you need to know. Inflammation seems to be the character problem with almost everything. You're going to see when it's talking about I don't care what it is, a root cause is going to be inflammation. So let's talk just for a few minutes. I want to talk about this. So inflammation happens to everyone, whether you're aware of it or not. Your immune system creates inflammation. And what it's there to do is protect the body from infection, injury, or disease. But there are many things you wouldn't be able to heal without inflammation. Sometimes with autoimmune diseases like certain types of arthritis and inflammatory bowel disease, your immune system attacks healthy cells. So inflammation is classified into three main types. One of those is acute inflammation, which usually occurs for a short duration, but it's often severe. So symptoms can quickly appear. However, it's typically resolved in 2 weeks or less once the cause, usually injury or an infection, it could be the flu, something like that, once that subsides. Now, this type restores your body to a state before the injury or the illness. Chronic inflammation. This type is slower, generally less severe form of inflammation. It typically lasts longer than 6 weeks. So your medical professionals have linked chronic inflammation to autoimmune disorders and even prolonged stress. So there's another one. It's called subacute inflammation. This is a new one to me. It's a transformational period between the acute and chronic inflammation and usually lasts from 2 to 6 weeks. Now, what are the signs of acute inflammation? Heat, pain, redness, swelling, and loss of function. So long-term inflammation could lead to a number of symptoms and affect your body in many ways. Common symptoms of chronic inflammation can include body pain, constant fatigue and insomnia, depression, anxiety, and other mood disorders, gastrointestinal issues like constipation, diarrhea, and acid reflux, unintentional weight gain or weight loss, and also frequent infections. Let me see if I can find something really quick right here. Okay, how is it diagnosed? You can get blood tests, the SPEP, also CRP, which is a C-reaction protein. All this has to do with protein. So my thoughts on this is, and I'm going to try this myself, and that's by intaking more of a meat type product. What I mean by that is chicken, which is white meat, and fish, because we all know that fish has a particular oil in it, and which is good for you. I love tuna. I think tuna would be a really good brain food. And I'm also thinking of vitamin E, little capsules that you can take. But make sure when you're buying medicine, I'll have to let you go in just a second, but when you're buying anything, medicine or anything over the counter, look in the ingredients and see what's in it, because sometimes you can be tricked. Sometimes it may say, this is a vitamin E pill, or this is vitamin E whatever serum. Make sure that's all it has in it, because sometimes companies are not regulated like they should be, and it may say vitamin E, but you look in that fine print, and it may have other ingredients in it. What you want is pure vitamin E. My name is Donna. Thank you so much for watching Donna's Edge Talk Show. I hope that this was informative for you. Try to get more sleep. Try to get more rest. Keep your brain active. I think that's probably the start of the whole thing. Again, thank you for watching. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundant Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget to podcast at newscasters.com. And keep those emails coming. Donna at donnasedge.com.